Hello everyone. Today I will explain about Debye-Heckel theory and its limitations. This is the part of electrochemistry, and this theory was actually put forward by Debye-Heckel for strong electrolytes. It is related with the dissociation of strong electrolytes. There are so many types of theories which also put forward to explain the dissociation of, we can say that the electrolytic conductance. This one is the Ostwald-Aloysius law, Arrhenius theories, dissociation and degree of dissociation. But among all, this one is the most favorable and highly acceptable theories about strong electrolytes. एक्चुअल में ये थ्योरी जो है वो स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट से रिलेटेड है, और स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स में जो कंडक्टेंस देखा जाता है कि उसकी जो कंडक्टेंस होती कंडक्टिविटी होती है, उससे रिलेटेड ये थ्योरी एक्सप्लेनेशंस करती है जनरली इन द केस ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस। तो इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री में बहुत सारी थ्योरीज हैं जो स्ट्रॉन्ग और वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स के डिसोसिएशन को जनरली एक्सप्लेन करती हैं, जिसमें से ओस्टवाल्ड-अलोयसिus लॉ और आर्हेनियस थ्योरी, ये सब बहुत ही पॉपुलर थ्योरी हैं। लेकिन उनमें एक डिबाई-हकेल थ्योरी जो सबसे अलग हट करके एक थ्योरी है, उन्होंने इसे एक्सप्लेन किया था, और इसमें अपने उन्होंने कुछ पोस्टुलेट्स और कुछ आइडियाज़ के थ्रू एक एक्सप्लेनेशंस कहें तो एक इक्वेशंस पुट फॉरवर्ड किया था, और उसी के बेस पे जो है इसकी सारी कैरेक्टर्स और लिमिटेशंस शो किए जाते हैं। बाद में इसमें थोड़ा सा मॉडिफिकेशन किया गया ऑनसॉगर के थ्रू, और फिर ऑनसॉगर ने इसे मॉडिफाइड किया, तो इसे डीबे-हकेल ऑनसॉगर इक्वेशंस या थ्योरी भी कहा जाता है। तो आइए हम देखते हैं कि इसमें हमें क्या क्या लर्न करना है। तो सबसे पहले इंट्रोडक्शंस, फिर इसका रिकैप्चुलेशंस, मॉडिफिकेशन, थ्योरेटिकल मीन, जो आयनिक एक्टिविटी कोफिशिएंट इन केस ऑफ आयनिक क्लाउड्स एंड फाइनाइट साइज आयंस, experimental determination of mean activity coefficient, and so on. There are so many types of features we have to learn about this. First of all, I will come to the topic introduction. इंट्रोडक्शन में सबसे पहले ये देखा जाए कि ये जो थियरी है डिबाई-हकेल थियरी, ये 1923 में डिबाई-हकेल के थ्रू पुट फॉरवर्ड की गई थी, और बाद में फिर इसे ऑनसॉगर ने इसमें मॉडिफिकेशन किया था इंटरआयनिक कॉन्सेप्ट के थ्रू। तब से ये थ्योरी जो है लाइट में आई। एक्चुअली इसमें होता क्या है इस थ्योरी में कि जब ओस्टवाल्ड-अलोयसिus लॉ स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स के लिए, या फिर आर्हेनियस लॉ स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स के लिए, ये सब थ्योरी जब फेल्ड हो गई, तब जा कर के एक सेटिस्फैक्ट्री और क्वालिटेटिवली एंड क्वांटिटेटिवली जो एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया गया वो डिबाई-हकेल के थ्रू दिया गया। और ये जो थियरीज़ है कुछ फीचर्स पर डिपेंडेबल है। इसमें कौन कौन से सबसे मेन फीचर्स होते हैं? इसमें फीचर्स आते हैं हमारे जैसे कि डिबे-हकेल ने ये कहा कि जो ऑल स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स, एक्चुअल में इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स का मतलब क्या होता है? इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स का मतलब होता है such type of molecules or such type of compound which are easily dissociated when they are डिज़ोल्व इन वाटर। जैसे ही उनको हम वाटर में डिज़ोल्व करते हैं ये हमारा कंपाउंड इजली जो है वो डिसोसिएट हो जाता है, एक तरह से आयनाइज हो जाता है। और जो कंप्लीटली आयनाइज नहीं होता वो वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट होता है, जो कंप्लीटली आयनाइज होता है वो स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट होता है। और ये थ्योरी जो इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस पे डिपेंड होती है, इस मेथड को इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस कहा जाता है कि ऑल स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आर कंप्लीटली आयनाइज्ड इन ऑल डाइल्यूशन, यानी जितने स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स हैं उनका जो डाइल्यूशंस होता है वो सभी कंप्लीटली आयनाइज होते हैं, जिस किसी में सॉल्वेंट में भी उनको जो है डिसॉल्व किया जाता है। तो इसलिए उनका जो डिग्री ऑफ आयनाइजेशन होता है 100% होता है। तो जिसके कारण जो आयनिक कंडक्टिविटी होती है वो वॉल्यूम पर डिपेंडेबल होती है। फॉर स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट डज नॉट रिप्रेजेंट द डिग्री ऑफ आयनाइजेशन बट इट इज़ ओनली ए कंडक्टिविटी रेशियो। ये जो एक कंडक्टिविटी रेशियो को डिफाइन, जिसमें हम जैसे कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट सॉल्यूशन ऑन डाइल्यूशन इज ड्यू टू द इंक्रीज इन द मोबिलिटी ऑफ आयंस, यानी जो कंडक्टिविटी होती है इस स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स में वो किसके कारण होती है? ड्यू टू द मोबिलिटी ऑफ आयंस, आयन की मोबिलिटी के कारण होती है, क्योंकि वो कम्प्लीटली आयनाइज होते हैं, नंबर ऑफ आयंस उसमें ज़्यादा होते हैं। द टू आयंस प्रेजेंट इन सॉल्यूशन ओबे द कूलम्ब्स लॉ, और ये जो दो आयंस प्रेजेंट होते हैं वो एक दूसरे से कूलम्ब्स लॉ को फॉलो करते हुए एक दूसरे से फार अवे होते हैं। और ये जो उनके बीच फोर्स काम करता है कूलम्ब्स लॉ के अकॉर्डिंग, फोर्स इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू Q1 Q2 अपॉन R स्क्वायर। दिस इज Q1 Q2 आर चार्जेस, कैटायन और एनायन के जो चार्जेस होते हैं, अगर हम डिस्टेंस से उनको डिवाइड कर दें तो हमें फोर्स मिल जाएगा। वेयर Q1 और Q2 आर चार्जेस ऑन द आयंस एंड R इज द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन देम, उनके बीच में एक डिस्टेंस है। तो in an electrolytic solution, ion-ion interactions are bound to operate. Further, the chemical potential changes delta U I minus 1 in going from hypothetical state of non-interacting ions, discharge ions, to state in which the ions of species I interact with the ionic solution charge states was considered as a quantitative measure of the interactions. We also arbitrarily choose a reference ion, that is central ion, from the assembly of ions. From the postulates of de Broglie theory, these ion-ion interactions are assumed to be purely coulombic in origin. इसमें जो एक्चुअली वो कोलम्बिक फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शंस के थ्रू वो जो है जुड़े होते हैं। अगर ये कंसीडर किया जाए कि मान लीजिए जैसे कोई पॉजिटिव आयन है सिचुएटेड एट ए डिस्टेंस पर वो अटैच्ड है, और देयर विल बी स्मॉल वॉल्यूम एलिमेंट dv, एक स्मॉल वॉल्यूम एलिमेंट dv है एट द एंड ऑफ द रेडियस वेक्टर फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ए पर वो अटैच्ड है। तो जनरली देखा जो उनका मैग्नीट्यूड है डिस्टेंस का इन ऑर्डर टू लेस देन अबाउट 100 टाइम्स एज द डायमीटर ऑफ द आयंस ड्यू टू द थर्मल मूवमेंट ऑफ आयंस। समटाइम्स there occurs an excess of positive ion and sometimes an excess of negative ion in the volume dv. If average time is taken, it will be found that there will be a negative large density in the volume db if a positive charge is assumed to be present at a. In this way, every ion move assumed to have an ionic atmosphere of opposite sign. The net charge of the ionic atmosphere is equal in magnitude and opposite in sign to that of central ion. So the electrical potential which are developed can also be defined at any point. The work done in bringing a unit charge from infinity to the particular point. So Avogadro's number Na times the electrostatic work resulting to taking the discharge reference ion and changing it up to the solution in its small final charges. So here one equation is given, delta mu I minus I1 I is equal to NaW. Na is the Avogadro's number, and so we need to obtain the electrostatical potential at the surface of the reference order to obtain the theoretical expression of potential psi reference to ion. we need to understand the distribution of ions around a given reference ions. So Debye-Hückel model treats only ion with respect to, and these ions are, while positively charged and negatively charged, both the ions are present there. So the positively charged ion accumulates near a negative ion, therefore the smoothened out positive and negative charge densities does not cancel out, but rather this imbalance gives rise to excess local charge density rho r. The local charge density rho r fades off as the distance from the central ion is increased and thus dies away towards zero. Thus, the problem of calculating the distribution of ions in electrolytic solution reduces the calculation of variation of excess charge densities rho r with distance r. So, there are so many equations are related this Debye-Hückel theories. One is the Poisson equation, other is the Boltzmann distributions law. So according to Poisson equation, this one is given by rho r is equal to minus epsilon upon 4 pi 1 upon r square d by dr, r square d psi r upon dr. But according to Boltzmann distributions law, rho r is equal to minus sigma ni naught zi square e naught 2 psi r upon kt. We equate these two expressions 2 and 3 for the excess charge densities, and we get the fundamental partial differential equation of Debye-Hückel model. So इसका अगर देखा जाए तो इन दोनों इक्वेशंस का अगर पार्शियल डिफरेंशिएशन किया जाता है तो एक Debye-Hückel मॉडल का फॉर्मेशन होता है, जिसे 1 upon r square d upon dr, r square d psi r upon dr is equal to zeta psi zeta square upon psi r, zeta square psi r. This zeta square is equal to 4 pi upon epsilon kt sigma ni0 zi square e naught square, and also is given psi r is equal to zi e psi e power minus zeta r upon r. So this expression which relates the variation of excess charge density with distance around the central ion also yields a simple physical nature. We considered a reference to a surrounded by cloud negative charges zeta power minus Debye-Hückel length. This is called Debye-Hückel length. So psi cloud is equal to minus zi e0 upon epsilon zeta power minus 1. And thus the energy of, in other words, the charging work can be obtained by integrating the potential at ionic cloud psi cloud from state of zero charge to state of full charge zi e naught. So W is equal to minus zi square e naught square zeta upon 2 epsilon. So thus the energy of this interaction is given by delta u I minus I is equal to minus zi square e naught square zeta upon 2 epsilon Na. These predictions are checked using the empirical treatment of ionic solutions, and then overall then we get the concentration mu I minus mu I not equal to RT log xi. While on the other hand, in case of electrolytic solution where ion-ion interactions are present, it is extremely observed that mu I minus mu I not equal to RT log xi. So thus for electrolytic solutions we use new terms activity and activity coefficient. This is AI equal to gamma IM, and therefore change in chemical potential can be related to activity by delta mu I minus I equal to RT ln xi and delta mu I minus I equal to RT ln AI. AI word is put forward here. delta mu I is equal to RT ln gamma I. So gamma I accounts for the interaction of charge, thus from equation 9 and 14 which are explained above, RT log psi I equal to delta mu I is equal to minus Na Zi E naught square upon 2 epsilon zeta inverse. So the Debye-Heckel expressions for the experimentally inaccessible individual activity coefficient, this expression is transformed into the Debye-Heckel notations which determines the experimentally measurable quantity mean ionic activity coefficient log delta psi I is equal to minus A Z plus Z minus I half, and where A is equal to 1 upon 2.303 Na E naught square upon 2 epsilon RT B is equal to 8 pi Na E naught square upon 1000 epsilon KT power 1 by 2. So I is equal to ionic strength, that is given by half sigma Ci Zi square. And equation 16 indicates that the logarithm of the mean activity coefficient falls nearly with the square root of the ionic strength. So the Debye-Heckel limiting law was seen to be valid with experimental values of activity coefficient at extremely low electrolytic concentration, while the law failed at high concentration. Moreover, there should be an increase in gamma plus minus with increase of the concentration, whereas the Debye-Heckel limitations indicated a continued decrease. Thus an improvement of theory was required. So there is the new modification was given by this Debye-Heckel law. Debye-Heckel length zeta inverse, the mean thickness of the ion cloud depends on the concentration. This is the thickness. So thickness, that is equal to epsilon KT upon 4 pi 1 upon sigma I Ni naught Zi square E square power half. Therefore, on increasing the concentration of electrolyte, the mean thickness of ionic cloud decreases, whereas low concentration the radius of the ionic cloud 100 times the radius of the ion. ये इसका मेन फीचर्स होता है. तो in other words, at very low concentration or a few low value of Ni naught, the charge cloud it's diffused, hence with respect to large ionic cloud the reference central ion can be treated as. Thus the result from Debye-Heckel theory are in accordance with experimental concentration and experimental results. On the other hand, at higher concentration it is only 10 times. But in order to remove the assumption that ions can be treated as point charges, it is necessary at first to recall at what stage in derivation of the theory was assumption was applied. So the basic differential equations that was put forward for the Debye-Heckel theory, it is the 1 upon r square del upon del r square del psi r upon del r is equal to zeta square psi r, and its general solution, that is psi r is equal to a e power minus zeta r upon r plus b e power plus zeta r upon r. So the integration constant b is evaluated through boundary conditions. The thermal forces completely dominate the Coulombic force when for enough from the central ion situated at r equal to 0, it is given as psi r equal to 0 as r equal to infinite, and moreover the psi r equal to 0 r is equal to infinite. So here he put forward psi r is equal to a e power minus zeta r upon r, and this can also represented dq is equal to rho r 4 pi r square dr. The charge density rho r is obtained as dou r is equal to minus epsilon upon 4 pi 1 upon r square del r square del psi upon del r is equal to minus epsilon upon 4 pi zeta square psi r. Using equation 20 and 21 we get rho r is equal to minus epsilon 4 pi zeta square a e power minus zeta r upon r. Thus by combining the equation 20 and 22 we get dq is equal to minus a zeta square epsilon e power x zeta r dr. This is equation number 23. So the total charge on the ionic cloud, that is q cloud, is equal to minus z I 0 as required by the electroneutrality condition, and on the other hand the resulting integration dq, thus rho q cloud is equal to minus z I 0 equal to integration of dq dr is equal to minus a zeta square epsilon integration of e power minus zeta r dr. So the lower limit used for the integration need to be investigated in the point charge model. So we used a lower limit of 0. It implies that the non-cloud commence from 0. And ions are considered to be infinite, since hence a lower limit of 0 is not acceptable. The limit, that is lower limit, should be a distance corresponding to the distance from the center of the ion. Here you see that for a finite sized ion, the ion atmosphere start as distance from the center of the reference ion. यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं, यहाँ पर आयन और उसका जो है ये डिस्टेंस साइज उसकी शो की गई है, और इस तरह से एक सिंबल यूज्ड फॉर द आयन साइज पैरामीटर और एक 24 equation is the transform into the integration of a to infinite dq dr is equal to minus a zeta square epsilon integration of a to infinite e power minus zeta r dr. And now that equation can also be written here, minus a epsilon integration of a to infinite zeta r e power minus zeta r d zeta r, equation number 25. And this equation can once again integrated here, their integrations, and over all integrations this give the equation number 26, and this once again hence inserting this equation 26 in 25 in above. Here you see that this value is put forward in the above equation 25, we get the equation 27, and hence here we see that a equal to z I e naught upon epsilon e power zeta a upon 1 plus zeta a. Using this value of a in equation 20, we obtained a new and less approximate expression for the potential psi r at a distance r from an infinite size central ion. So psi r is equal to zeta I epsilon e 0 upon epsilon e zeta a upon 1 plus zeta a e power minus zeta r upon r. So this is the expression for the Weiheckel theory. So now come the theoretical mean ionic activity coefficient in case of ionic clouds with finite sized atoms. In order to obtain the ionic atmosphere contribution psi cloud to the potential psi r at a distance r from the central ion, we utilize the concept of the law of superposition of potential. Thus we get psi cloud is equal to psi r minus psi ion. Substituting the value of psi r and psi ion, we get here psi cloud is equal to z I e 0 upon epsilon r e power zeta a minus r upon 1 plus zeta a minus z I e naught upon e r, या यहाँ इसको लिखा जा सकता है कि z I e upon epsilon r, इसको स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट में जीटा ई पावर जीटा ए माइनस आर अपॉन 1 प्लस जीटा ए माइनस 1. अगर यहाँ पे जीटा आई ई में अपॉन एप्सिलॉन आर को कॉमन ले लिया जाए तो यहाँ मिलता है. इन ऑर्डर टू कैलकुलेट द एक्टिविटी कोफिशिएंट देयर इज द एक्सप्रेशन आर टी एलेंस गामा आई इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा म्यू आई माइनस आई, एंड डेल्टा म्यू आई माइनस आई इक्वल टू आपको पता है एन ए, दिस इज एवोगाड्रो नंबर जेड आई ई नॉट अपॉन 2 आर टी साई that is from ln gamma I is equal to Na zeta I E0 upon 2 RT psi. It is necessary to know psi, which is a potential at the surface of ion due to the surrounding ions, that is due to the cloud, since in the finite ion size model the ion is taken to have a size A. It means that psi is the value of psi cloud at r is equal to A. We can put the A in place of r. Psi is equal to psi cloud, so r is equal to A. The value of psi cloud at r equal to A is flourished by setting r is equal to in equation 30. We get psi equal to psi cloud r equal to minus z I 0 upon epsilon zeta inverse 1 upon 1 plus zeta A by substituting the equations 33 for psi is equal to psi cloud. Equation 31 we get log psi gamma I equal to minus Na z I E naught upon E naught whole square upon 2 epsilon RT zeta inverse 1 upon 1 plus zeta A. This individual ionic activity of coefficient can be transformed into mean ionic activity coefficient through the same procedure as for the Debye-Heckel limiting law. Hence the expression for log psi plus minus in the finite ion size model is Debye-Heckel limiting law. Log gamma psi plus minus is log gamma plus minus is equal to minus A upon A modulus z plus z minus modulus I inverse. Log gamma psi plus minus is equal to minus A z plus z minus I inverse I power half upon 1 plus zeta A. Here A is referred as the ion size parameter. Note that the ion size parameter has the dimension of meter, thus this equation can also be written, and this ln is converted into, here you see that the log psi gamma plus minus is equal to minus A modulus z plus z minus modulus I power half 1 plus zeta A power minus 1. So this can also be written on expanding using the binomial series. We get 1 upon 1 plus x is equal to 1 plus x power minus 1 equal to 1 minus x plus x square upon 2 integral, and we use only the first two terms, log gamma psi plus minus equal to minus A z plus z minus I power half plus A z plus z minus modulus I half zeta A. Here you see that this value has constant and it was seen that the plot of log x versus half curve gives value of log psi plus higher than those given by the limiting law. The deviation increasing the concentration, moreover the general shape of the predicated curve is in the right lines. Further, in equation 38 the first term explains the decrease of log gamma plus minus with the square root of ionic strength, while the second term explains the occurrence of positive slope or the increase in zeta. Further, the first term dominates at lower concentration and the second term dominates at higher concentration. Now the determination of gamma plus minus from solubility product. How can this will be determined? When a substance mixes with another substance to form a homogeneous mixture, a true solution is formed. The substance that is present in greater amount is called the solvent and the other substance is called the solute. Solubility of solid in a liquid is governed by many factors like nature of the solute, nature of the solvent, temperature, pressure, concentration of the solute, presence of other solute, etc. The maximum amount of the solute that can be dissolved in a fixed quantity of the solvent at a given temperature and pressure is called a saturated solution. यानी इस तरह से अगर हम सॉल्यूशन को डिफाइन करना चाहें कि व्हाट इज़ द सैचुरेटेड सॉल्यूशन, व्हाट इज़ द अनसैचुरेटेड सॉल्यूशन, तो सैचुरेटेड सॉल्यूशंस के लिए जो डेफिनेशंस होता है वो ये होता है कि अगर जो मैक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ द सॉल्यूट कैन बी डिजॉल्व इन ए फिक्स्ड क्वांटिटी ऑफ द सॉल्वेंट एट ए given temperature, या we can say that at a normal temperature and pressure, this is called a saturated solution. And ionic solid exists in the solid stage as negative and positive ion packed into a regular three-dimensional area array called crystal lattice. The electronic attraction between the oppositely charged ions, the crystal lattice together. Energy required to disband the ions from the lattice is called the lattice energy of the ionic solid. For an ionic solid to dissolve in a solvent, the solvent has to overcome the attractive forces between the ions. This energy supplies by the solvent to overcome the force of attraction between the ion is called solvation energy. When the solvent involved in water, his energy is called hydration energy. When the solvent energy exceeds the lattice energy, the lattice breaks up and the individual ion drift into the solution. If the concentration of the ion is very low, they drift far apart from each other and there is virtually no interaction among them. Such a solution is called an ideal dilute solution. However, if the concentration of the ion is high, the ions are forced closer together. The electron clouds of adjacent ions interact with each other, leading to deviation from ideality. The effective concentration of the ion in solution is no longer equal to their actual concentration. The effective concentration of ion in solution is known as its activity. The ratio of the activity of an ion to its actual concentration is called activity coefficient. तो जो एक्टिविटी कोफिशिएंट निकाला जाता है उसमें ये देखा जाता है कि जो रेशियो होता है एक्टिविटी ऑफ एन आयन का और इसकी एक्चुअल कंसंट्रेशन का, इसी को हम एक्टिविटी कोफिशिएंट कहते हैं. इफ़ द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ एन आयन इज एक्सप्रेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ मोलरिटी, moles of the ion per kilogram of the solvent, then its activity can be defined as A is equal to gamma m, where gamma is the activity coefficient and m is the molality. Activity coefficient of individual ions can never be determined because in strong electrolytic solution only cation and anion can never exist. Cations are always accompanied by anions and vice versa. Therefore, gamma plus and gamma minus cannot be determined individually. So, we define a new term mean activity coefficient which is represented by gamma plus minus. Mean activity coefficient, this is called mean activity coefficient, which is a measure of ion-ion interaction in solution. Mathematically it is given as, here you see that gamma plus minus is equal to gamma power x plus y power gamma power y, gamma plus power x, gamma minus power y, whole power 1 upon x plus y. Gamma plus and gamma minus are the activity coefficient of the cation and ion respectively. Now we come, the next one is the solubility product. How can we define this? When the solution energy supplied by the solvent is capable to overcome the lattice energy of an ionic solid, the solid remains practically undissolved. Such a salt is called spirangely soluble salt in that solvent. A spirangely soluble salt dissolves to such a small extent that it always forms a saturated solution. A dynamic equilibrium exists between the undissolved salt in the solid state and its dissociated ion in the solution. Consider a spirangely soluble salt AB in solution. ए भी कोई सॉल्ट है, वो स्पायरेंजली सॉल्युबल है, ए प्लस और बी माइनस एक से. द इक्विलिब्रियम कांस्टेंट इस सॉल्यूशन के लिए जो होगा के इक्विलिब्रियम इक्वल टू ए प्लस ए बी माइनस अपॉन ए बी. ए प्लस ए बी एंड ए बी आर द activates of a plus b minus and a b respectively. So the activity of solid is arbitrarily taken to be unity. So this equation can also be written here that K equivalent to AA plus and AB minus. activity of the ions can be expressed in terms of their concentration and activity coefficient. So K equivalent to Ca plus gamma A plus Cb minus gamma B minus, या K equivalent to Kc dot gamma square plus minus, where Kc is equal to Ca plus dot Cb minus gamma plus minus square is equal to gamma plus gamma minus. The equilibrium constant in this case is known by a special name and symbol. The true thermodynamic solubility product Ksp, solubility product K, and concentration K is the classical solubility product obtained by determining the actual concentration of the ion in solution, gamma plus minus, can be determined from the extended Debye-Hückel law, and this is the Ksp is equal to solubility product is equal to classical solubility Kc dot gamma square plus minus, and this gamma square is the concentration of ion in solution. And so the mean activity coefficient from electrochemical cell potential can also be calculated by this, using gamma is equal to A upon M, and here you see that the I is equal to half sigma Mij square. When this an ideal solution is defined as one for which gamma is unity, but for a non-ideal solution it differs from unity. However, even for non-ideal solution in the limit of zero ionic strength, activities of ions are equal to their concentration. The activity coefficient thus become unity in the limit of zero ionic strength. The ionic strength 1 is defined by the expression, so that is I is equal to half sigma Mij square, where M is the molality of the ion and Zi is the charge on the ions of Debye-Hückel limiting law predict the mean ion activity coefficient gamma plus by the equation. Here this equation are used. Gamma plus minus is equal to minus A Z plus Z minus I power half, where Z minus plus are the charge of ion and cation respectively. The constant A has the value 0.509 at 25 degrees centigrade for aqueous solution. So for 1:1 univalent electrolytes and ionic strength is equal to M, so log gamma plus minus is equal to minus A root M. And further on, but Debye-Hückel limiting law is valid for only very dilute solution. In practice, deviations from the limiting law become appreciable in the concentration ranges 0.005 to 0.01 molar. Guggenheim was shown that the mean activity coefficient obeys the following relation up to 0.2 molar concentration, and that is indicated by log gamma plus minus is equal to minus A root M upon 1 plus root M plus Bm, where B is a fraction of interactions coefficient for each possible cation and ion combination, and A is equal to 0.5084 at 25 degrees centigrade. This is the value of A. There are several methods for determination of activity coefficient. The measurement of electromotive force of cell is one of the most convenient method. So we can use following rules and formulas to determine. Here you can say that there are various types of cell equations has been put forward for the electrolytic solutions. Here is the hydrogen electrode and platinum taken is the concentration of M, and potassium chloride, this is the bridge, that is the bridge which is formed between the two electrolytic solutions. Axiom means that different molarities of HCl solution are used. So the half reactions can also be written here in the form of Nernst equations, that is given by E Hg2Cl2 half Hg equal to E naught, that this is the extended electrode potential, minus RTF ln ACl square, and the value of this are given here. So this is somewhat follow the Nernst equation. Electrode potential Q upon QS2 equal to standard electrode potential Q upon QS2 minus RTF ln a power half qs2 upon a power half q a s plus. Here you see that the r is the constant, t is also constant, and f is the Faraday. How many Faradays are used in this equation? This overall is the DP-Haeckel limiting laws and their uses.